Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at the K13 by Trayoo. Now this is an Android tablet PC, as they say, and this was sent to me by the distributor, but they did not pay me, so they also do not get to see the video before anyone else does. Now, if you decide to get this tablet, it will set you back around $70 at the moment of making this video. But if you want to get the best price possible, make sure that you vet it before you get it. That's a free extension that can work in almost every browser, and I will leave the link in the description down below. So let's take a look at this tablet and start by looking at the specs according to what you see in the box. Now this says that it's got an Octa-Core processor. It comes with Android 13. It has Wi-Fi with 802.11 AC connectivity. The model number, like I mentioned, is K13. It's got a dual camera, a front 2 megapixel and a rear 5 megapixel. And it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM as well as 64 internal memory or internal storage. It does support an extended of up to 512 gigabytes. Now the display resolution is 1280 by 800, so it's kind of high definition, but not full HD. Right, and the battery capacity is rated at 5,000 milliamps. All right, so let's take it out of the box and see what we get inside. Now I am opening the box for the first time, so I'm getting a peek at this at the same time as you do. So we get the tablet right on top. And from what I can tell, it comes with a protective case already in it. So I'm going to put it aside and see what else comes in the box. Now there's a cover here, and I'm going to move it away. And very simple. We only get a charger. We get a USB-C to USB-A cable and an instruction manual that hopefully I won't need to read. So I just want to make sure, or not make sure, just check what kind of rating we have on the AC adapter, and it says that it's supports 100 to 240 volts and it's a 0.3 amps, so 300 milliamps. All right, well actually that's the input. It says output 5 volts and it's a 2 amp, so fairly fast. Not super fast charging, but more than the average, I guess. So not a bad adapter. So let's put the box out of the way and take a look at the tablet, which is what we really want to check out. Now it comes a very simple packaging, as you can see, and yes, it does come in a protective case, so I appreciate that. And let's see, so this is a folding case, and you can see the reflection of my camera here. And this is a folding style case, so it stands upright like so. So here's the front facing camera, and here is the rear facing camera. So I don't expect high quality camera. I don't think you're not going to be using this camera to take photos anyway, but it's good to have it. All right, so let's try and set it up. Judging by the position of the front facing camera, this is meant to be used horizontally. So I'm really bugged by the reflection here, but you know, it is what it is. So on this side, let's call it the left side, we get an SD card slot, a micro SD card slot, USB-C port, and we get the power and the volume, as well as what appears to be a microphone. Now on the bottom, we have 2 speakers, so apparently it has stereo speakers, and nothing on the right side, and nothing at the top except another microphone. So let's fire it up and see what kind of experience we get out of the box. So this is a typical login screen by Trayoo. I reviewed another of their tablets and just the same. It's got the same branding. All right, so we boot up to a fairly updated date. This is not the right date for me, but of course, when I connect it to Wi-Fi, it's going to automatically update. So let's see. And yeah, I can tell the resolution is not very high. Like I said, it's not a full HD screen, but it's kind of nice to see that it's ready to go out of the box. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do a full reset on this. It's probably a good idea, but let's check out what we get the usual stuff that you would expect to see from an Android 13 tablet. So far, it appears to be fairly responsive. So I need to set it up with the accounts and whatnot, so I'm going to download a couple of games and report back. Alright, so I did a factory reset and it didn't take very long. I think it took like about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes tops, and it only consumed about 2% of battery life, so that's good. By the way, it came with about 83% out of the box, so I appreciate that. So I'm going to start the setup and I'm going to move on from there. So as you can see, right upon setup, it suggests that I set up this tablet for my child, so I appreciate that. This is exactly why I got this tablet in the first place. I wanted to give it to my toddler. Alright, so the setup process is done pretty much. It did take a while. It's not a super fast device, I guess, but I'm going to start downloading games now and test it out. Alright, so I did a little bit of customizing. I downloaded an image that I made on Midjourney, and because she likes unicorns. And anyway, I downloaded some of the games that I know that she really likes to play, so I'm going to start with this one. Okay, so from what I can tell, I'm actually going to lower the volume. The speakers are pretty loud, I like that. And from what I can tell, it actually does have 2 speakers. Both of them work, both of them provide sound, so that's really nice. Other devices just have the grill as a prop and not really working, but this one does work, so let's give it a try now. The position of the volume is a little bit awkward, I think, but not really that bad. And one downside that I do feel is that when using the device in vertical orientation, then I noticed that the sound comes only from the left side. Not a big deal, especially your kid won't mind it, I think. But just worth mentioning. And yeah, so far I feel like the performance is pretty adequate for a tablet for kids. I do notice some slowdowns when a lot of applications are installing at the same time, but I think that's kind of something to be expected out of any device, especially one that is not really high-end. Alright, so this game is not really that demanding. However, I do have it on a very old iPad, the original iPad Air, and it does get very slow at times, especially when there are many animations like the ones you're seeing right now. So this one is playing pretty much flawless so far, so no complaints whatsoever at the moment. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch to another game. Probably a little bit more demanding is one by Nintendo, Mario Kart. Alright, so as you can see, I'm not really that good at this game. But it is playing pretty well so far. I'm going to try to go to an online competition because there are going to be more vehicles, more sprites and all that. So, oh, actually, I don't have to. Got more cars in there. So I think I noticed a little bit of a slowdown. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just because I'm looking at the screen on my computer as I'm recording this, but no, actually, if I look straight at the tablet and not at the screen of my computer, then it does appear to look pretty smooth, actually. So if you do notice a bit of a slowdown on the video, then it's actually the video and not the tablet itself. The tablet itself is working pretty well. Whoa, what's that? So again, not very good at this. Well, what do you know? I made first place. Of course, it's a tutorial, so no surprise there. But, well, anyway, performance of the tablet so far, pretty good. I might as well try one last game. Although, if the Mario Kart was running pretty well, then I suppose that pretty much almost anything that you throw at this is going to run really well. Yeah, this is another fairly 3D heavy game. I think most, if not all, the environments is based on 3D modeling, so it's another good test on. Oops. So from what I can tell, this game is also pretty 3D intensive, and so far also no slowdowns. And of course, at least on this game at the very beginning, it does tend to get a little bit slow, but that's only because it's allowing you to get acquainted with the game, because the game is running for the first time. So it's assuming that you're a new player and that you are needed to get acquainted with the game. So it tends to be slow in that regard, but only for you to get used to the game, like I said. So it's not really a slowdown of the tablet, but the game itself is programmed to be that way. Alright, so far all the animations look pretty well. And this is another game that my toddler plays a lot on the original iPad Air, which is several years old by now, and it does get really slow sometimes. Especially like scenes like these ones where there are a lot of things going on at the same time. So yeah, my first impressions on this tablet are fairly good. It's not a high-end tablet like I mentioned, but if this is something that you want to get your kids, then it's a really good option. I do recommend that you use Google Family Link to do the parental controls. Make sure that they don't install anything that they shouldn't be using. You know, I'm not telling you how to raise your kids, but there are a lot of really nasty things that you can find online right now, especially if you're not paying attention to what your kids are doing. So yeah, having Google Family Link on this tablet makes things much safer for your kids. You do have to approve everything they want to install, and that might turn some people off, but I really think that it's worth it, especially, you know, to take care of your kids. So yeah, these are my first impressions of this device. Like I said, oops. Oh, well, whatever. Like I said, a pretty good tablet, especially for the price. And So I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope that you found it useful. And I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, may God bless you all.